So let's get started. Here's Shamsuddin. I was just
Hi,
responding.
Winchan. Yeah, I saw it. Thank you.
No worries, no worries. I just posted the recording as well from last week.
Okay, cheers.
So they both require password, both file and recording.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Let me do that one second. So passwords. Okay. This should have in it, and you should be able to download all the five files. And the 5 files obviously would include the chat file. And the password is attached as well. Okay, great. So great. Thank you for all the sharing and all the great work that you guys have done. Really appreciate it. And so why don't we start diving into the code again and just keep digging into it, and we'll talk at 12:15 again. And anyone wants to join the breakout room, or anyone just want to stay in the main room can stay in the main room. Yeah.
Hi, Winchan. I'm not sure how the breakout rooms works because I haven't joined lately.
Oh yeah, I actually, you know what? I think I'm not the host. I didn't sign in as a host. So never mind. Let's just stay in the main room for this time. Yeah, otherwise I would have to re-signing and switch account and stuff. So why don't we just, stay in the main room and just code.
Okay.
Okay. We'll do the breakout room next time.
All right.
Talk to you guys later. And also feel free to just ask questions or discuss, along the way. I think it's always good to be more engaging.
But why don't we run the breakout rooms for those interested here? Like, what I mean? Like, since there isn't, you can create rooms, so we can create a virtual room in the main war room,
Are you saying we should just do it now?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right. Let me just, I think I should be able to leave without closing the entire session. So let me do that, and I'll switch account and rejoin it.
Cheng, there is a claim host button. Maybe you can try that.
Claim host button.
If you click on the participants, I'm not sure how it looks in the Mac, but there is a claim host button.
Okay. I don't think I can do it. Maybe you can claim the host if you want.
But I don't know how to create the rooms. I can try.
Okay.
Okay, it asks for a host key to claim host role.
Okay, never mind. I'll rejoin.
I think Darren knows how to create rooms. He can.
No. Winchan, if you look at the invite mute, there is button called claim host. Just down bottom of the list of people in the chat room, where you see raise hand, yes, no. So there is a claim host on Mac.
Oh yes.
And I don't see that on Windows. I just see
okay.
slower, faster, yes, no, all that. Oh, wait a minute, there it is, claim host. That's cool.
Yeah.
Sweet.
All right, I have the login, and I can do that right away. 1 second. Yeah.
So when you do claim host, it's going to ask you to log in with your host.
Yeah, you have
So
to. You have to log in. Yeah. Yeah.
While
Okay.
we're all in one room, can I ask a stupid but Kaggle related question? Do you remember how to pin a competition on Kaggle? So, you know, when you log in, it shows you pinned. It's easy to navigate to pinned competitions. And I did it a couple of times, and I can't remember how to do it.
I've done it too. I can't remember either. I'm going to go right now to Kaggle and see if I can remember.
Okay, I'm gonna create 3 break. Well, maybe 2. Sign. I think Parth and Darren, and maybe Shamsuddin. You guys can be in the same room, and Gotham, Yuri.
So Yuri, I see actually I'm in competitions, okay? And it has 3, tabs sort of. Active, completed, in class. I'm just talking
Yeah.
about that. And when I hold my cursor over a competition in that list of all competitions, there's a little thumbtack to the right.
Got it. Thanks.
Yes, it's stupid simple. That's the best thing to miss. Happens to me all the time.
Okay, I'm gonna open the rooms now, and please join and return at 12:15.
Are you gonna? How do you add your? Do you join one of the rooms? Is that what you do after you break them
Yeah.
out?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Hi, Darren. Hello, Darren. Hello.
Oh, sorry, I had my phone muted.
Okay. Yeah.
Parth had to go back to work. So.
Okay. Yeah. You guys, I want to join your embeddings group. So, what time do you really hold it now?
Yeah, well, we're not having one this week.
Okay.
Just because of Thanksgiving in the United States.
Yeah.
And since I run that group, so they're at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's West Coast. That's where I am of the United States.
Right.
So it's 9 o'clock. Like right now, it's 9 a.m. here. So it's at 10. It's at 10 a.m. every Thursday.
Okay. 10 a.m. every Thursday.
Thursday, yeah. And I post it's always the same link, but I always post it, in the morning,
So,
just a little before.
So 10 a.m. PST, right?
Yeah.
All right. Every Thursday.
Yeah, except for this Thursday.
Yeah, yeah, I understand. Yes, I think I will be joining you guys next week.
So tell me some of what you've been learning in school and on your own.
Yeah, so basically what I did, I'm not machine learning stuff. I'm doing computer security. So yeah, but I have an interest in doing machine learning. So I want to switch to machine learning. That's why, yeah. So I'm doing stuff like cryptography stuff, those things that what I've used before, cryptography and the computer and information security. Yeah, but I want to change to machine learning, especially NLP.
And why is that?
All right. So basically, because I finished my master's and I want to start doing my postgraduate, and yeah, and I want to move because I think it's more interesting the field of machine learning, and basically I have more interest in it now than the previous background I have.
Okay, that's cool. So you're gonna start your PhD work and sort of move the focus of your work more into ML.
Yeah.
Nice. Excellent.
Yeah. What do you do?
I work for a publishing company, an online IT publisher of IT content called Tech Target, and I actually was trained as a taxonomist at a library school, and I was brought in about 6 years ago to redo their taxonomies for classifying their content.
Oh, okay.
But before that, I was also with Reed Business, a publishing company. But over that time, I've taught myself Python and been a search engineer for a little while, and also been doing and learning NLP the whole time. So I'm actually now, instead of doing taxonomy work, doing natural language processing stuff at my company.
Right. Okay. So, yeah, you have been in the in the field for long.
Yeah, I have. I have been I've been in my profession for quite a while, but the transition to Python I started about 10 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, but I mean, and then the transition. I mean, and then I was always I learned Python by reading the Natural Language Processing book, which is NLTK. It's old,
Yeah,
10
I know.
years ago. That
Yeah,
you know of it, huh?
Yeah, I have practiced. I went through the book now, the NLTK.
Yeah. So that's really old school, that thing. But that's how I learned my Python at the beginning. My first thing. And but so I've been interested in NLP and machine learning for quite a while, but only the last maybe year and a half have I been able to dedicate time at work to it. So I am pretty new. I'm pretty new with NLP and machine learning.
Yeah. So me too. I'm using computer security. I'm using what would you like to suggest for me advice on embeddings? I want to go into embeddings. I'm interested in those things because I'm from African background. So I want to now what I want to do is I just start to create my language embeddings of my own language so that I can do some kind of NLP tags on my. So what can you advise? Can you suggest some resources that I can start with? And
sure. How many languages are there?
Well, we have many. So Nigeria is a kind of diverse country. We have over 200 languages, but there are major 3 languages in Nigeria. 3 languages. So what I want to do is we have a group called African NLP, and what I want to do is we have a group where we creating some language resource for Africa because there isn't much stuff for Africa. So currently we are doing machine translation now. We are creating name entity recognition as a group, people with advanced knowledge in NLP are in the group. So we are creating name entity recognition. We are in part of Sister. But what I want to do to bring into the group is to create embeddings for some of the languages we have in Nigeria. Then I can ask people if they want, we can create a notebook or some code that people from other languages can just use the data and create embeddings for their language so that we can. So recently we published a paper for machine translation for some of the African languages, more than 20 languages in Africa, EMNLP this year. And so it's a kind of group work, people with interest in Africa. We want to bring Africa up to speed in NLP and machine learning.
Sure. Yeah, that's great. A lot of opportunity there. So, you know, I'm sure you're familiar with Fast AI.
Yeah, I know.
So Jeremy Howard and that group are very, very supportive of this kind of work. So I don't know, somehow I would, and also, you know, and it's also, I mean, it's pretty popular, I think, in the Fast AI in the academic world as well.
Yeah, and currently,
I'm just recommending a very general sort of.
I'm currently
community. Yeah.
Going through the Fast AI book, and also I finished the first course for the Fast AI.
So you're using the new one, right? Because they just
new one.
It's great timing. Yeah, so I'm not very experienced in the world of transformers and stuff, but I haven't gotten to use them yet directly. So I'm going to also go through I need to do that whole introduction to learning stuff. I'm starting to do that, but I would say also not only is Fast AI as a community and as a tool useful, and it's sort of a place where people will be interested in lower resource languages. But also, of course, I'm sure you've heard of Hugging Face, the Hugging Face Transformers library. There are also XLM or something like that. There's a couple multilingual models that are available to Transformers that will work with many languages. Not that that's your goal, right? But you can get started with some tasks with other languages by using those. That's good. It's funny. We had a guy on for a while. Sujit, it's analogous to India, right? Because India, that is Nigeria and Africa in general, but Nigeria is analogous to India because they have many different languages.
Yeah.
We actually had a guy on, Abujit, who comes on Thursday sometimes, he's actually working on Sanskrit, so he's even working in the ancient Indian language. So there's been some discussion of that sort of stuff.
All right. Cool.
Yeah,
So
I don't know. I don't know. I don't have any other experience, but those two things will get you a long way: the Transformers library and the Fast AI group. And
yeah. So the transformer from the Hugging Face you are talking about.
yeah, absolutely.
All right.
That's
So
the way to approach the modern. So there's different kinds of it. We use the word embeddings, right? So there's different kind of embeddings, but it's
okay.
basically when you talk about embeddings, it's what I think what we mean is it's getting your
Yeah, just
language into into a vector space.
yeah, into a vector space of related meanings. So
Yes.
we can do some kind of downstreams NLP tags such as sentiment analysis, many downstream tags for NLP.
Exactly. So the funny thing with the Transformers stuff, right? Their embeddings are tied to the model, sort of. So, in the old school, right, you just put everything into TF-IDF space. Right?
Yeah.
And that's your embeddings, and then you do what you want with it downstream. And then in the slightly newer time period, which is Word2Vec, Glove, and Fast Text, those are called context-free embeddings. It's the same thing, right? You use those to do your word embeddings, although they can be used for other things. And then you have, instead of TF-IDF, you have a better more meaningful representation and use that for downstream tasks. However, with Elmo and BERT and the Transformers models, those all sort of tie it all together. So they're actually like they have a full architecture. You don't just I think you can, but you don't just get embeddings.
Okay.
What it is it's the embeddings and the model, and then you could throw on a top task layer. So you'll see in the Transformers library, you could download the model like BERT, or you could download BERT with a last layer on it, like for doing classification or for doing QA or that kind of thing. But you can't just download the part that gets you embeddings. At the beginning of it. Exactly. Sort of. But it doesn't matter. You just choose. I think what you do is you grab a layer somewhere, because there's lots of layers, and you can grab the embedding, the representation of the language at that layer and use it. But I'm not sure why you'd want to do that. I'm not. It's a little unclear to me. And on our Thursday calls, you'll have a lot more people with different varied experience. Well, not a lot more, but there's under 10 people on there. Sometimes just 5. That can also. You should bring in general your general goal up in those calls and see what people say if they have any advice. You never know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I think they finished the meeting, I guess, because I can see good time talking to me in another channel, because
but we're not. I'm no longer in the. I mean, you joined into the main. You didn't join back into the breakout. I'm not in a breakout.
Yeah, I know. So my computer, I had to go back home and take my charger, and the computer goes down, so I had to rejoin. What I'm saying is there is EU, not US, machine learning book session that we run for folks that are not from US. So currently, I see Good Tom is talking to me. They are starting now, so it means they cut off the session. I don't know, maybe the previous session.
I think it's at. I think we usually go till a quarter past.
Okay.
In our breakout. I can't remember, but yeah.
Okay. So I think I will leave now, because I will join the hands-on ML from the other channel.
Yep, sounds good. Talk to you later. Hopefully see you next Thursday.
Yeah, see you. Okay, bye. Cheers.
Bye.
Hey, so we're back. I have a question for you, Darren.
Are you guys done?
Yeah,
What's up?
I had this one. I don't know if you had this as well. Let me share my screen. But I literally had this warning saying misaligned. Did you have that?
Sentiment, train data, get training data.
I was just getting the NER model from the notebook.
Oh, okay. So show me the error or whatever it is.
It's a warning. Some entities cannot be aligning the text. Congrats on your bike ride today. Very entities 5,
No.
9.
Some entities could not be aligned in the text.
Yeah.
That's new. Yeah.
So you guys didn't run into this. Getting the spacing in.
No, I not. This is this my notebook
This is the
or
Twitter.
the original? Yeah.
Yeah, I was just basically copy pasting some of the codes. And
Yeah, I've never seen that error.
Okay.
Yeah.
No worries.
I wonder what that means. That's interesting. And that's at what time? What are you doing right there? Training?
Yeah.
Oh, you're training. I would guess, just a guess, of course. Training data,
Uh-huh.
Is not properly constructed. Maybe.
Yeah, I was just straight getting this because he did a lot of EDA and analysis, and in the end, he just reading the original CSV files, which is interesting. But I was just literally reading it in, and that's it. And somehow I'm getting this error. Warning. Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
All right, fine. I will keep digging into it. Yeah.
It does look like the data that the training data look funny.
Yeah, probably it is. Yeah.
You're not doing pseudo training or anything. You're like using the original notebook that I worked with. Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm. Right. Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely wasn't like some error you have to get over in order to use that notebook. I never saw that.
Okay. All right. Maybe there's something wrong on my end. I'll keep digging into it then. Okay. How you guys doing? I think couple people had to leave because of the homework review session that they had, and with hands-on ML EU session, Europe session, and so Gotham and probably Shamsuddin had to leave because of that.
Yep.
So. Okay. Well, anything else you want to share, Darren or Yuri?
So I haven't made much progress, but I pursued this idea of using language interpretability toolkit. And I kind of realized that first I need to have sentiment model, because I want to use that model. So like I started putting together like a quick model. And also it looks like that paper was finally published, and they actually presented the model at empirical methods in NLP last week. So I'm going to try to find video.
Cool. Very cool. Okay.
So what are you going to use for your classifier? for the sentiment model part before you?
I was gonna just I was just gonna use like Hugging Face, but then I started thinking. I decided that I probably need to read the paper first because it might not work. It probably works on like TensorFlow. It definitely works on TensorFlow, so I don't know if I need it. So like I want to read the paper first. So I might need to run the model on TensorFlow BERT, so I can use the hooks.
You're just doing sentiment classification, right?
Yeah. So basically, I took training data and I'm splitting it, and just see like building my own, just a task on top of BERT, which is I think like everybody uses it as an example. So it's like there are plenty of networks to do it.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, we just discussed Parth has a Roberta QA notebook he was looking at, and he just got to the point where it was using the tokenizer for Roberta, because Roberta, unlike BERT, uses a byte encoder, and he just had never used a byte encoder, and it was loading certain files and certain parameters, and he had researched it, and he was explaining what he learned about it and so forth. And that I think the main interesting thing was there's words that a word with a space before it, like they keep the spaces before it for some reason. So if you have a word like hello at the beginning of a sentence, it's encoded as a token hello without the space, and then if it's in the sentence, it's got the space before it. And there are actually two different IDs for those tokens.
Quite interesting.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting. I've never really dug into a byte encoder. Yeah.
By the way, just completely like a side question. So you know how like after BERT, I think the next one of the next models was Albert, and Albert had like a bigger embedding size, and there are other like changes compared to BERT. I haven't heard people using Albert recently. Like Roberta definitely like becoming like a next network after BERT. Have you seen Albert used recently?
I don't. It sort of ring. I wonder for NER if I saw it. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I haven't heard anything recently. How do I run NER and Albert? I mean, I think it was kind of popular for NER. I'm not sure. I feel like that.
How is Roberta different from BERT?
What's that?
How is Roberta different from BERT?
I forget all that, Yuri. There's this whole constellation of BERT models, and at one point I looked at them all, and there's Distill BERT, because it's smaller, but it's pretty much as accurate. There's just a bunch of different ones. I'd have to look them all up again.
Yeah, I think it stands for robustly optimized BERT.
Ah.
So it's further optimized, probably. Yeah. It builds on BERT and modifies key hyperparameters, removing the next sentence pre-training objective and training with much larger mini batches and learning rates. Okay.
Why, Yuri? Were you interested in Albert for some reason?
No, somebody else is trying to use Albert, and like my initial reaction was like it's certainly like good to try everything, but like I haven't seen Albert used because it looks like BERT and Distill BERT are more.
Yeah, so I think Albert probably competes with Distilberg. So I'm looking online, and it's a light. It stands for a new light BERT.
Yeah, and then on November 6th, they actually have like Albert 2.0. So I guess it's not.
So Albert versus Distill BERT might be interesting, right? 40%. Wow. Yeah, Distill BERT's really makes it smaller.
All right.
All right, guys.
Okay, cool. Thank you, guys. Really appreciate
Right.
the session. And we'll talk next Monday.
All right. Talk to you guys.
Bye.